Hello, my name is Adriana and this is the vlog for the start of Spookoplathon. I'm going to film this kind of somewhat intro and catch up of what has been going on with my life the first 2 days of Spookoplathon because it's already been kind of a crazy October and there's just a lot. It's already been a lot, and I'm gonna do my makeup because I have 2 videos to film and October is just gonna be a big month. So I will start with actually September 30th because it leads into why my October has been so much for me. But on September 30th, one of my good friends got married and I was one of her bridesmaids. So that was obviously a crazy day. So October 1st, Sunday, I woke up in a very messy hotel room and got to start reading my first book for Spookoplathon, which is The Left Hand of Darkness. And yesterday I really just did not get as much reading done as I would have liked to. I was just, I don't know, I guess overwhelmed, not overwhelmed, but it was just a lot. And like seeing so many friends I hadn't seen in so long, it was very good, but yesterday I was just exhausted and mostly just came home and was a couch potato. And then today has been a little hectic and chaotic as well. So this morning I accidentally double booked myself. The truck needed a oil change and then I have scheduled to drop off the truck at 7:45 and then the dog had vaccines at 8:15. I overbooked myself for this morning and I'm realizing I forgot a makeup brush. But fortunately the vet is actually walking distance from the dealership where I dropped my truck off for the oil change. So I was able to, drop the truck off at 7:45, was there till just about 8, and then Tripp and I walked down to the vet to get his vaccines. He's become very reactive at the vet, which is not ideal. So that was just a bit stressful. I actually administered one of his oral vaccines. So they have a vaccine that you just squirt into his mouth. So I did that one because the vet and the vet tech didn't want to put their hands near his mouth, which is not great for me. But he's doing fine now. He's just a bit of a drama queen. But yeah, as far as book, you can imagine I'm not too far into anything. I think I'm 30 pages into The Left Hand of Darkness. I think I'm really going to enjoy it just based on what I've read so far and knowing the premise. The premise of it is that there's this kind of ambassador from Earth who's going to this planet that is called Winter by the humans, and I'm forgetting the actual planet name from the inhabitants of the planet. But basically the planet on Earth is called Winter because it's very cold. And then the other kind of big difference to this planet is that they don't, I'm struggling to name this because it's not that they have one gender, it's that they just don't really look at gender. So in the book is kind of written as a report from the ambassador. So he refers to everyone as he, just as they all recognize each other. They don't recognize each other by gender. So when we use gendered pronouns, he just uses the word he because we don't really have, I guess if Ursula K. Le Guin had been around today, she probably would have had the ambassador use the pronoun they instead of the pronoun he, but in the 1968, I think is when this book was published, that wasn't really part of the dialogue. Anyway, I'm babbling. But it's definitely really interesting to kind of look at this thought experiment, and I really liked the author's note at the beginning of the book. It's Ursula K. Le Guin just talking about science fiction as a whole and what science fiction means to the greater, I don't know, culture as an art form. And she does a lot of emphasis on that science fiction is a descriptive media, not a prescriptive media. So just saying that like science fiction really shouldn't be trying to predict the future. Like science fiction authors are really just trying to describe the present. And I really, really liked that because I've always had, I guess, kind of an issue, and this like stems from other things too, but I've always had kind of an issue when people are always like, ah, 1984, like Orwell totally like predicted the future. And it's like, he was not predicting our future. He was explaining a very tumultuous time in British culture, in like the zeitgeist, and wrote a book based off of like what is going on then. And I know Margaret Atwood just talks about that a lot with The Handmaid's Tale too. She's like, nothing in here is like, I can't remember what the exact quote is, kind of the same thing where it's like her book is not predicting a future, it's describing a like present mindset. And so I really liked reading that author's note. And then yes, I've read the first 2 chapters after that, so I really don't have too much to say on the book itself, but I'm just really excited because I do like Ursula K. Le Guin's opinions and I so far have enjoyed her writing style. I think that's it. I think that's all I have to say about The Left Hand of Darkness. And then I also started the audiobook of How to Stop Time. So I do have a physical copy of this, but I figured of the books I like rolled for my TBR, this would make the best audiobook, and I was able to get access to it. And it's also like the second one on my TBR, and I like ideally would like to try to read this TBR in order, just because like if I do finish up the books, I want to roll live for the next book. So it just made the most sense to me to try to read these books in order as much as I could. So yeah, I am not too far into that one either because I just started it today. So there's not too much to say about that. The synopsis is this guy who is not immortal, but just like has some sort of condition that makes him live a really, really long time. I think he's been alive for like 400 years or something and is getting kind of sick of being, for all intents and purposes, up until this point in his life, immortal. There's like a whole collection of people with this condition, and they kind of help each other out to make sure they don't get caught by the general public by kind of helping them, you know, move into a new area when they start getting kind of aged out of an area. And so this guy is helping him move into a new life, and he decides he wants to be a history teacher in London. And there's kind of like a mystery hanging in the air about a woman from his past that he's like trying to go find and go be with. And so there's like that kind of mystery hanging out. I guess that's like kind of the main mystery thing we have going on with the book right now, besides just like this guy just living his immortal life as a history teacher. So I'm really looking forward to that. People who have been around on the channel a while might remember that The Midnight Library, when I read it, was like one of my favorite reads. Like I've never had such a strong reaction to a book. I really, really enjoyed that one. And I know there's like lots of mixed feelings about that book in general, but for me, it was just like the right message at the right time. So I am kind of interested to read this other Matt Haig because I don't want to go back and reread The Midnight Library because I'm afraid I will not like it when I reread it, because I've kind of aged out of the message that I needed when I read it at 25 or 26. And now that I'm a little bit like older and more kind of settled in my life, I might not enjoy it as much as I did at the time. But I am excited to read a different Matt Haig to see if I like still like him as an author and whatnot. Again, not that far into it. At the end of the week, my husband and I are packing up and doing a week in Moab, Utah. So this week is mostly just gonna be trying to get through work and preparing for a week of camping and dirt bike riding and having just a ton of fun down in Utah. With that, my makeup's almost done. Just gotta put on some lashes, and I will see you guys maybe tomorrow if I have updates about reading or my life or whatever's going on with this vlog this week. Hey, so I have been actually terrible at vlogging this week. It's already Wednesday, but I mean, I haven't really been doing that much. I did make some bread, which was dope. I guess I mostly made that on Sunday, but I have bread now and I love it. It's so good. And I had a dentist appointment today where I found out that I have my first ever cavity, which is not good, not great. Opposite of bread. And my husband just got home. So I will do an update for my 2 books later. Okay, good morning. So I am ready to give my book updates now. After a short interlude, I went to go read my copy of The Left Hand of Darkness last night, and when I went to go open it, it just like fell apart. Like the entire it's not a dust jacket because it's a paperback, but the entire like cover of the paperback just came separated from the actual like paper of the book. So I have switched to the ebook copy from my library. I now have like an arm to hold up my e-reader in bed. I have a little like remote for it, so I don't even have to like raise my arms. I can stay all cozy in the blankets. Am I proud of this setup? To be determined, but like it's pretty cozy. It'll also be nice to switch to the ebook version for our trip to Utah, just because it's nice to not have to bring a bunch of books. So I will be bringing my e-reader for that, as well as packing. I think the only book I couldn't get an ebook copy of was The Sun Also Rises by Ernest Hemingway. I will be bringing my copy of that, but it's small, not a big deal. About a third of the way, a little over a third of the way through The Left Hand of Darkness. It's a lot. Like, I can't tell if it would be easier for me to read if I have read the other books in the Hainish cycle. Technically, this is like the 4th book in a companion series is kind of the way I've like, when I've researched it, it kind of seems to be described. So like they all take place in the same kind of universe, but not necessarily like the same planet or whatever. So I don't know if it actually would have helped, but there's just like a lot of new words and like an entirely new culture. And this planet they're on has a bunch of different nations that all have their own distinct culture, and it's just a lot of information to try to take in a very short amount of pages. If you're gonna do a whole world and each nation's individual culture, like I need it to be long. I need like Priory of the Orange Tree. Like I need time to learn who these people are, what they're doing, why things matter. I don't know, there's a lot going on and I'm like kind of confused. I'll get there. I still have 2/3 of the book to figure out what is happening, and hopefully now that I'm like somewhat familiar with like the people and the terms and the nations, hopefully it'll start to make a little more sense. But I am confusion right now. In How to Stop Time, opposite of confusion, very simple story, but like I'm into it. I don't know. I know like I understand the criticisms of Matt Haig, but like I am a basic white rich bitch with basic white rich bitch problems. It appeals to me. This one, I think I'd mentioned the synopsis in like my last update, but it's this guy who was born in the 1500s. He ages super duper slowly. He decides he's going to live this current iteration of his life as a middle school teacher in London, or I guess high school teacher, high school history teacher in London, and we just kind of keep like bouncing around to different parts of like the life he's lived, his childhood, the death of his wife. There's like kind of this mystery through line of he has a daughter who also has the same condition of aging super slowly, so he's trying to find her, hasn't been able to find her in the past 400 years. It's pretty interesting. I'm enjoying it, and it's a good audiobook. I am enjoying it as an audiobook. I normally don't like time jumpy stories, but I think because there are so few characters we're like actually following, it's easier for me to get the context. And we're doing huge time jumps. It's not like, like 1987 to 2002. It's like modern day to 1518. It's pretty easy to get context clues when you're doing a like 500-year jump. I think that is all I have for now. It is Thursday, so today's gonna be the big packing day, trying to get everything put together. I need to wash my hair because I am a freaking grease ball. Been putting it off. I will check you later. Hey, so one time Danielle from Danielle Reads asked me like for a hair care routine, and I responded to her and basically just said it's like mostly genetics, which is true. Like I will put up a picture of like me and my sister and my mom like all standing together. Like I'll even throw up a picture of like my grandma. Like there's strong hair genes in this family that I have been blessed with. But there are maybe some things that in my hair care routine that might like help other people. I don't know. But my hair is like so greasy. I don't know how well it's like coming up on camera, but like my hair is just really gross right now. And I guess maybe that's like tip number one. Like I let my hair go probably too long. It's currently Thursday. I last washed my hair on Friday before I went to that wedding. So we're almost at a week now. Definitely need to wash it. So then I'm about to hop in the shower. Not gonna take you in there with me, but what I use is this brand called Way, but it's spelled like that. I use their thick hair shampoo and their thick hair conditioner. I don't know if I'm in love with the shampoo. I do really like the conditioner though. It's really thick, for like lack of a better term, and really like kind of squeezes into my hair well. So while I'm in the shower, what I do is obviously wet my hair, and then I get, I don't know, about a quarter size amount of shampoo. I just kind of fill the little divot of my hand, try to lather that up a little bit, get it as much into my hair as possible, really focusing on getting underneath, like making sure that I'm getting every part of my scalp shampooed, rinse it out, and then I go in for another shampoo just because I let my hair go so long, it gets really greasy. So on this second shampoo, I get a lot more lather. I just comes out feeling a lot cleaner. And then I go in with the shampoo, I go in with the conditioner, and I get a little bit bigger of an amount, maybe like right outside the divot of my hand. And then I take it and I just kind of try to get it all up in there and squish it in. And I'll even do some of the prayer hand thing just to make sure every piece of my hair from like here-ish down is like slathered. And then I will like take my little scrunchie, put my hair up just a little bit to keep it from rinsing out. And then I will do the rest of my shower things, wash, shave, whatever else needs to be done. Then at the end, take my hair back out, rinse out as much as I can. So I'm gonna go do that, and then I will come back. Okay, now that hair's all clean, I wrap it in just like a t-shirt, because as you saw in that picture, my sister has very curly hair. So she got me on like modified curly girl method, in which a regular bath towel never touches my hair. So I'm just gonna flippy flop this in. And then I just kind of let it sit in here for 1 to 4 hours, depending on how busy I am with life and other things. So I'm gonna let it dry in here for a while, and then I'll be back with the rest of the routine. Okay, it's been like 2 hours. So I'm gonna just pull this out. My hair is like probably like 50% dry. So then I'm gonna use this leave-in conditioner, also from Way. If I were gonna let my hair air dry, I have like a mousse from them, but I already put it in the camper because I'm going to be using it this weekend. But this is like, also does heat protectant. You just like squirt some into your hand and then rake it through. And then you're definitely not supposed to brush your hair while it's wet. But like, I did some detangling in the shower, so it's mostly fine. Just get a brush through it real quick. Then I need to go grab my hair dryer because I accidentally left it in the other room. Okay, so I just blow dry my hair upside down till it's more dry, also using like the brush to like pin it against each other, and then like try to dry it out. So it's like pretty dry now. So then now that my head's like upright, I do some smoothing. Alright, we're smooth on top. Still kind of poofy through the ends, but I will fix that with my heatless curlers. Overnight heatless curls. Love this whole situation. So I will rotate you around because I'm definitely going to need the mirror to be able to do this. I'm gonna just run the brush through my hair one more time. My hair tangles pretty easily. So even though I do a side part, I still like break my hair from like a middle-ish section in the back here, and then just pull everything forward. Mix on top. In we go. And then I've messed with this thing a lot, figuring out the best way for my hair to turn out, especially now that it's a different length than it used to be. But basically what I've found is to take my top section, wrap it around a couple times, just because like that's the most important piece to me. And then take a section from the back here, wrap that around. Then another section from the front. Wrap that around again, just like a couple times. And then another section from the back, and then I just alternate back and front as I go. And then it's just the same thing on the other side. And then since I'm going to be wearing these overnight, I just kind of like to tie them behind my head just to keep them from annoying me at night. So yeah, then I just sleep and I wake up with nice curly bouncy hair. Okay, I'm like done with my workday now, so now it's just like mad dash to get everything like packed up so we can get going. So I'm gonna pack the camera up and then get going. Hello, so we made it to Pendleton and we're staying the night at a casino outside of town. And if I were a better YouTuber, I would have like taken some vlog clips inside the casino or at dinner or while I was losing my ass at blackjack, but you know, whatever. Here we are, $20 less rich, played 3 hands of blackjack, so we're doing our best. We're killing it. It's currently about 8 o'clock now, I think. Yeah, 8:30. So the plan is just to like settle in for the night, do some reading, get up early-ish, and head to our next destination on our way to Utah. So there's the dog drinking water in the background, just having a great old time. Trip, are you cozy? Alright, we're stopped for gas in Baker City. We're gonna stop for lunch in Boise and meet up with one of my friends. But it's been so fun on this stretch of the trip because Trip, the dog, is obsessed with cows, and we have passed by so many like ranches with like cows just like milling about. Every time you're like, oh, cows, and then he just runs to the window and goes and looks at them, and it's really funny and cute. Say hello. Looking for more cows. So after 5 more miles of driving, a nice little walk, and a very delicious dinner, we are all settled into our next destination for the night. Tomorrow I will be attempting the trail known as 5 Miles of Hell, but I think I'm going to save all of the rest of this trip for the next vlog, Bookoplathon, Spookoplathon Part 2. So this is the end of this vlog. I made it to 69% of the Left Hand of Darkness, and I think How to Stop Time, I have not read anything since my last update, so we are still at 43%. Still very much enjoying both these books. I think I finally understand what's happening in Left Hand of Darkness, so hopefully the rest of this should breeze by very, very smoothly and easily. I am very much looking forward to finishing this and the week of very chaotic fun ahead. So thanks so much for watching this vlog, and I will catch you on the next one.